I would like to request all of you to be on cam. Hello, Nitesh. How are you? Okay, just a minute. I think now, right, whenever you want, you can
Hi,
unmute
sir.
yourself.
I'm
So,
good, sir.
hello, Nitesh. Hello, Vivek. Hello, Nikita,
Hi,
Tanvi,
sir.
Pooja, Yangchen. Hello,
Hi,
hello,
sir.
everyone. Okay, so let's begin with the session. First of all, uh, you did it. Uh, Cracking written exam of any university for M.Phil, and more specifically, NIMHAN CIP is not easy or easy task, right? So you did well. Now we are here to talk about interview, right? How we can proceed. So all these things that we are going to discuss here, that I collected, those information I collected from few faculties and few past students. So all our discussion that we are going to right discuss here will be based on those information that I collected in last 3 days, right? So, what do you think? What is interview, right? How we will define? I'm not going to make them theoretical class, but in the beginning, right? Tanvi, you can unmute yourself and just let me know what do you think about interview? Anything?
I think, sir, it is to assess if we are
Just a
like,
minute. You are not audible. Give me a moment. Okay, now may
yeah.
speak.
I think interview is a great way to assess.
Tanvi is audible to other individual. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so
He's audible.
yes. Now you can start. Yes.
Right. I think an interview is a great way to assess our skills, and I think more to do with practical aspect of it, and like getting to know the person better. Because I think in the CBT exam, it's mostly just theoretical and all that. In the interview, you get to know the person more if they're suitable for the course, and if you have the required attributes or such things. If you'll be able to fit the subject, the demands of it, I think it's a great way to know that. And
Great.
yeah,
Great. Yang, what do you think about interview? Yes, Yangchen, I'm talking to you. You can unmute yourself and okay, I think okay, fine. Huda, you can unmute yourself.
I'm audible, sir.
Yes, you are audible.
So, sir, what I believe is that interview is all about how you present yourself in front of the panel and whether or not you are able to communicate your answers clearly. How effectively are you able to put across your points and whether or not you are fit enough for the course. So, it's more to
Mhm.
do with your personality because the knowledge aspect has been already tested. So,
Okay, fine. And last one, Vivek, you can unmute now.
Sir, in my opinion, interview is like knowing your frame of reference, how you look at the things, how you look at the concepts, and how confident you are with your wisdom or knowledge to assess these things. I think interview is for.
Okay, fine. You all are mentioning correct, right? But whenever we are going to participate in any interview, right, we have to understand interview is a kind of science too, right? Whenever, right, we are participating in any interview, we think that we need to answer that question that other individual interviewer asking to us. But the fact is, if you want to modify that interview, you are also having certain aspect, right? If you want certain kind of questions, if you want to give that interview a direction, you're having also a certain, not so much, right? But you are having right? A few things that you can do to move in a certain direction. So I created a slide. I'm just going to share that particular slide first, and then we will begin the discussion. Just a minute. So we can divide this session into two parts. First will be the general thing, the basic thing that you all are aware, but I want to repeat them once to what we have to do, how we can prepare for the interview. And then specifically, we will talk about CIP. I'm having few data. I have collected data. Uh, yeah, here. So I talked to their faculty, few my networks, and in my networks as well as students who are pursuing M.Phil from there or who have already completed. So we will talk about CIP specifically, but थोड़ा सा general aspect पहले हम discuss कर ले how we can prepare for it. So today in this session, we will talk about how to approach any interview, not only CIP, but we will discuss more specifically for CIP. As I always mentioning, right, interview is not about how strong your theories are. Interview is all about how you are presenting yourself, right? So sometimes you can find how much knowledge you are having in psychology. Maybe you are not able to curate them well. And sometimes you are identifying that, yes, I'm having limited information on this particular topic, but I curated them well, I presented them well, and your interview will go in a right direction. So we will discuss three things here in this session. The first, few tips and basic skills that you can consider before and at the time of interview. Second, we will talk about common questions that interviewer can ask in the interview that I collected last 2 3 days, and then at the end, I will share those information that will be necessary, right? More specifically related to interview patterns, how many individual will be in their panel, right? And what is their what is the way to ask question from practical and theories, all these things, right? We will discuss. Now here you can see the part one. Part one, here I added that whenever you are going to participate in any interview, first of all, collect information from those colleges and department. This is really mandatory, and this is a need of an hour, right? Because there will be few questions like why you want to be in CIP. If you are having awareness, like right when they established, what is their motto, how departments begin, from how long they are working in that particular field, who is their right head and director, all these information if you're having, you will be more comfortable. Maybe they are not asking question from these particular topic, but they will definitely help you be more comfortable in that particular situation because you are aware about those organizations. Maybe might possible that you are going to visit that particular place first time in your life, right? So you will visit over there, right, at least half an hour 1 hour earlier, right? You will be comfortable in that particular location. But if you're having information about the departments, right, who are working in that department, who is the head of that particular department, how many seats they are having, right, when they established, right, if you are having all these kind of information, they will definitely help you to be comfortable, right, with the interview. So collect information about CIP, their departments, because sometime they can also ask, why do you want to attend this college, this university? So if you have information about the college and departments, then you can prepare good answer. You can answer them conveniently, right? So first tips is this. You can move ahead. It will take hardly half an hour. We are having ample amount of time. So half an hour, 45 minutes you can spend on CIP's website. कहीं और जाने की need नहीं है. Spend on CIP website and you will get all the information. When there was diploma in medical and social psychology, when that converted into M.Phil in clinical psychology, all these things, basic information, right? When they established CIP is oldest organization, oldest mental hospital of India. So when they established, right, who established them, all these information you will get over there. But if you think कि कोई information नहीं मिल रहा है, you don't need to stuck there. You can move ahead. If you are not finding any information, that's completely okay. How much information you are collecting, you are able to collect, that's fine. देन सेकेंड जिसको हम इग्नोर करते हैं मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम, रीच एट वेन्यू एट टाइम. दिस इज द सेकेंड टिप. नो any individual cannot afford to miss this particular point, and if they are not following this, right, there will be problem. So when you arrive early, you give yourself a chance to settle in, right? So new place, whenever we are visiting new place, right? They often make us uneasy. They can create anxiety. So just because of unfamiliarity of environment, unknown faces, and pressure of performing, all these things can increase anxiety. So whenever you are reaching a time at venue, and now you can mention how you will decide कि कितना time पहले पहुंचना है. So we are expecting at least 40-45 minutes earlier than scheduled time. You have to reach there. Now the problem is whenever you will reach there, because they are already right announce a particular time कि चलो ठीक है 11 o'clock, from 11 onward there will be interview. But your turn will came in evening, right, at 5 o'clock, at 6 o'clock. Possibilities are there, but we cannot take risk, right? If they are calling you at 11 o'clock, you have to reach there 10:15 at least, no matter when there will be interview. Your interview will be in evening. Kabhi kabhi in CIP, there will be interview till 8 o'clock, till 8:30. So just keep in mind, इस mindset के साथ prepare होके जाना है कि your interview will be at the end. Chances are there that they will conduct your interview in the evening at 8 o'clock and you reach there in the morning 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock. So कैसे adjust करना? You must have all these awareness. Whenever you are having awareness, you will be prepared enough कि ठीक है ऐसा हो सकता है, right? You will not be surprised कि ये क्या हो गया. So you must have this information, but you need to reach there at least 40-45 minutes earlier, because whenever you reach early, you get time to observe everything calmly, right? You see, right, where things are. You can understand the surroundings and slowly become comfortable, right, in that particular space. So this small step help individual to reduce nervousness, and you are not rushing, right, or you are not going to be panicking. Because what happen if you are rushing to reach somewhere? Let's take an example. If you are going to catch the flight and you think you will miss the flight, so basically you will become restless. And in those particular situation, if any individual calling you to right answer certain question, your whole interview will be vanished, because we don't know when you will reach there. Second, right, position will be yours, right? They will call you right at second number or third number, right? So just keep this thing in mind. No matter you have to sit there for 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, but you have to reach at least 40-45 minutes earlier, right, than scheduled time, right? I'm saying it because you have to understand that what you did, that is a great achievement. Now we have one more steps, right? One more step we need to cross. So miss to bilkul nahi kar sakte. We need to be very serious about this interview. So these are the second request that you all need to follow. The second is you all need to look professional. Why I am mentioning it? It doesn't mean wearing expensive clothes or right pretending to be someone you are not really, right? You are not that kind of person. It simply means presenting yourself in a way that shows you take your role seriously. That clearly reflecting that you are taking this interview seriously. You have to understand whenever you are going to participate in any function. So we become ready for that particular function. What it means? This simply means you are taking that particular function and occasion seriously. This is the only things, right? So whenever you look professional, whenever you are spending time, how you look on, right, that interview, in that interview, that definitely help you, right, to considered as a person who are serious about it. So when you look mature and appropriate for the situation, people feel that you respect your profession, you respect psychology, and value, right, what you are mentioning. They take you seriously, right? So all these things are there. We can say halo effect, right? If you look good, if you look perfect, so halo effect will work. We all are aware what halo effect is, right? But this is the human tendency, right? Halo effect will work there. So if you look professional, if you think you take this particular interview seriously, then definitely chances are very high that they will listen you carefully. But if they think कि चलो ठीक है कैसे भी आ गए, right? They came here and they are not ready for this interview. They don't look ready for the interview. They are not taking seriously sometime, because you need to be understand कि from the head to toe, right? Anything could be possible that they like, right? That attract them, right? As a whole, what kind of attire you are having, right? That will definitely help you to create halo effect. So इट लुक वेरी सिंपल, ऐसा लग सकता है किसी को कि ये कौन सी बात हुई, लुक प्रोफेशनल, अगर यू नो उतना उतने अच्छे तरीके से रेडी होकर अगर नहीं भी जाए तो क्या फर्क पड़ेगा, बट नो, हेलो इफेक्ट वर्क्स देयर नो मैटर वेयर यू आर. Impression formation really works in interview as well. No matter you are going to participate in clinical psychology interview, but impression formation, halo effect, all these theories that we are aware of, they will work. That will be active over there. Now, along with, you look professional, right? Sometime because we belong to a certain culture, certain society, we hesitate to maintain eye contact, right? So all those individuals who are from the metro cities, they are well aware about the body language, how we have to maintain eye contact. But if any individual from tier 3 cities or maybe from the village, you have to understand that here in this interview, if you are not maintaining eye contact just because you are respecting them, that will go in a negative way, because in certain culture we are not maintaining eye contact just because we respect that individual, right? We look lower than that. Don't do so, right? Maintaining eye contact while speaking, right, shows that you are confident what you are mentioning, right? Other individual will be attentive, you look honest, right? And it help any individual to connect with the person in front of you. So look professional and maintaining eye contact, this is the third suggestion that I would like to mention here. Fourth is speak clearly. What it mean speak clearly? Because सबका phoneme present करने का style different है. We all are presenting our phonemes differently. We all belong to right different languages, different geographical conditions. So our mother tongue is different. So our phonemes will be different. Speak clearly means you need to be calm and composed. And what is your tone? What is your phonemes? Present in that particular phonemes, but you need to be calm and composed. That's all. You don't need to speak in hurry, right? So this shows your confidence whenever you are presenting what you want to present in a calm way, in a composed way. That will definitely reflect you are confident, right? You can practice it, right? And speak clearly will possible. You will speak calmly, composedly. It is possible when there will be lower anxiety. We all are psychology students. We all are aware that whenever you will be in anxiety, you will start speaking very frequently and very fastly. So be calm, be composed, and in those situations, what you will mention, you will be able to curate well. What you want to say, you will be able to say it clearly, right? So we have to focus on right speaking very clearly. All these four things we have to follow. Next, you can see listen before answering. It's not going to happen with everyone, but in my class, when I take interview, then also I'm realizing like if you know answer of anything, so sometime in excitement you started speaking, yes, I know. That means uh, in any setting, right? If any individual asking something to you, and if answering those questions is really important for you, sometime we become what we can say, right, excited, and you started presenting things very quickly. So what I suggesting, don't interrupt any individual, right? Listen them very carefully, and whenever they are completing their question, then begin your answer. Do not interfere with interviewee, right? With the mentioning anything, right? If they are asking something, let them complete first. Wait for completion, right? And when they complete their questions, then only present your answer. Because many students start answering in between just because of excitement. And if you do so, then your interview will go in a negative direction, because they will be biased and they think, right, you are very excited because you know this answer. So when you know the answer, be calm, composed, let them complete first, and then start answering. If you don't know, then also let them complete first, and then very politely say, I don't know this answer, right? And then you have to move ahead. So listen before answering, right? Now, we will talk about common questions, right? That you can find in CIP as well. So this is the second part of our discussion, right? I have already collected, right, few questions that they asked last year and in 2023 as well, right? So what is the probable question? We will discuss on them. But first of all, whenever you are entering into those hall, so you can see 4 to 6 panelists will be there. Whenever you are entering, 4 to 6 panelists will be there. You have to take permission from them to sit, right? And if they are engaged, if they are talking to each other, you have to wait, right? When they are requesting you to sit, then you can take sit. Now, the common question will be, tell me about yourself. In 95% case, right, this question will be there. And tell me about yourself doesn't mean this is the general question. This question will decide, like, in which direction your interview will go on. Because this is the question where you can direct your interview in which direction you want to shift your interview. This is the first and last chance that you are having. So whenever any interview mentioning, tell me about yourself. 40 to 50 seconds you can take to tell about yourself and your educational qualification in brief, right? 40-50 seconds, that all. इससे बहुत ज्यादा time नहीं देना, because your interview will not be exceeded by 15 minutes, max 15 minutes, right? If they like you so much, then it went to, right, 20 minutes, but usually, right, 8, 9 minutes will last, right? Because there are 81, 82 candidates. Then there will be candidates of, right, PhD in clinical psychology, right? And there are 2 days. We are having 2 days. बहुत time लगेगा ना? So they are going to give you max to max in an average, right? Approx 12-15 minutes. In a rarest condition, that will go around 20. In some condition, that will be around 8 when they will be in hurry. Suppose that this is the lunch time. They are going to, right, take lunch. So before the lunch, they will finish them maybe in 8 or 9 minutes, could be possible. When they are having free time or they begin interview or this is the last interview, maybe they can take more time. So at which position you are going to participate in interview, that also decide, right, how much time they will take, right? So you must having this understanding कि, okay, दूसरे को उसने अगर 8 or 9 minutes लिया, so it could possible that I will be there for 15 minutes. I will be there maybe for lesser time, right? Common question will be, tell me about yourself. So 40-50 seconds you will take to tell about yourself as well as your educational background. Now the game begin. Now, whenever you are going to begin, right, whenever you are explaining yourself, just prepare with those theories, those principles, and those experiences that you got and in which you expert enough. Let's take an example. You think you're ADHD, you think you're schizophrenia, you think any topic like CBT, right? There is a command, control over all these topics because you did internship and you learned CBT over there, right? You did observationship somewhere in hospital, observationship, right? Not work over there, observationship. Suppose that. And you observe anxiety patient or schizophrenic individual or maybe, right, a bipolar. If you think there are a specific topic in which I am having, where I am having a strong command, like you are good enough in a any test like 16 PF, or you are good enough, right, in WAPIS, MISIC, anything, right? So you can make a list. And at the end, when you completed introducing yourself and your educational background very smartly, what you want to mention at the end, in last sentence, just mention those points in which you are having command. Let's take an example. I'm having command over CVT. So I will explain each and everything. And this is just my concluding sentence at the end against tell me about yourself. They're asking, tell me about self. I tell everything at the end. This is my concluding line. So I will mention, so I did internship in ABC hospital, or I did observationship, or I did work under this individual, and I learned CBT over there. When you are saying it, then chances become very high that next question will be there from CBT, right? But at the same time, you have to understand that no one can predict what they will ask. So no matter how much direction you want to give to your interview, chances are still there that they can ask what they want to ask. Because sometimes they already decided and there will be at least 1 and 2 member in the panelist. They will be for a certain topic. Like sometime I will be in panelist, suppose that. So I think no, I will ask statistics related questions today. I will ask question related to social psychology today. So no matter what we are answering, they will ask question from those topics that they have decided. So you are trying to give direction to your interview, but you need to be ready. Okay, they can ask anything from anywhere. You cannot be surprised over there कि ये क्या हो गया. So the first common question is, tell me about yourself, and you have to practice of this particular question for today itself, right? So if you are able to right, comprise each and everything within 2.5 minutes, that will be a good time frame. 2.5 minutes से ज्यादा बड़ा होगा, so that will become too lengthy. अगर उससे छोटा है, so maybe you will not be able to comprise everything about you, your interest, your expertise, your internship, right? Everything that you are having. Be genuine. If you don't have internship, don't mention it. Right? It is not necessary to mention internship. नहीं भी किया है तभी भी mention करना. No, that is wrong. Be honest for the interview. Whenever you are going for the interview, who you are, just present those. Because those individuals who are taking interview, now they are taking interview from the morning. They have already taken interview of 20-25 individual. So body language से पता चल जाता है कि they are mentioning correct or wrong. So be honest. No matter right what you did. अगर इंटर्नशिप एक भी नहीं किया, you cannot mention about that. It's okay. It's completely okay. You proved it that you are one of the best students. That's why you are collected. You called for interview. So if you don't have internship, it's okay. If you have internship and if you think I did internship in a perfect way, if they will ask question from this particular topic, I'm ready to answer them. Then definitely mention it. और मैं तो ये कहूंगा कि if you did internship, if you're having certain experiences, mention them. But we are having few days, so just read about those concepts. Suppose that you did internship and you learned IPT, interpersonal therapy, but you are not well versed in interpersonal therapy now. हमारे पास time है ना, we are having few days, so you can read IPT, right? You can be versed with IPT, so you can do this. Now, the second common question will be, why do you want to study this particular subject? Why clinical psychology? If you are not getting in, because there are limited seats in clinical psychology, then what will happen, right? Which, right, specialization you will choose? I am not going to give you any hint how you can answer, right? Because अगर मैंने hint दे दिया, so maybe it could possible कि मेरे पास दो batches हैं, like you are here, एक और after, right, this session, there will be one more session. So उसमें भी कुछ students हैं. So if I will give you the hint, so ऐसा ना हो कि multiple individual will adapt them. So this is your take how to answer this. But chances are there. Why do you want to attend CIP and why do you want to study this subject? Right? Whenever they are asking why do you study this subject, you have to say something convincing that clinical psychology is the only thing that I want for and I right aspire for, right? I don't have any other options. So basically, you need to convince other individual, right, with your communication, how you are communicating and what kind of words you are selecting. They will, they must convinced that if not CIP, they will crack other organization, but they will be right in clinical psychology only, right? They are very passionate and they are looking for this particular professional. They are not looking for other professional. So they want to do this particular thing, right? So you have to mention it by your answer. You cannot say it directly, but right, you can give them help. Next, you are mentioning why do you want to attend CIP, right? Now, when they are asking this question, they are asking one question more specifically to those students who belong to metro cities. They are mentioning, suppose that if a student is coming from Delhi, so they're asking, why do you want to join CIP? If you are coming from the large city like Delhi, metro cities, then like Delhi, then how you will be able to manage and sustain in a small city like Ranchi? What you will say? Then you have to choose the answer. They are mentioning the right question, na? If you are coming from Mumbai and Delhi like city and you are just landing to the Ranchi, maybe there will be problem. What kind of lifestyle you are having? You are not getting those kind of lifestyle there, right? What kind of right life you are living over there, over here in metro cities? You are not getting those kind of life over there. So they can ask this question like how you will manage. You are coming from large city, metro cities, right? So how you will manage here, how you will sustain here, right? So you can practice this question. I'm just repeating what I mentioned. First common question is tell me about yourself, prepare about it. Why do you want to write study clinical psychology? Prepare answer of it. Why do you want to attend CIP and how you will manage if you are coming from metro cities? If you are from metro cities, prepare of it. And then chances are there that if you haven't added any internship in tell me about yourself, in response to tell me about yourself, then forcefully they can ask you, have you done any internship? Because they want to know if you done internship from anywhere, what you learned. So sometimes chances are there if you yes, if you did internship from somewhere, you can mention them, right? But if you haven't did any internship, you can mention them. No. But one precautions that we all have to take: do not mention those internship that you paid for. ऐसा होता है psychology में, right? Psychology is the only subject I think, right, in right country India, right, in which we are paying to do internship, right? So if you paid someone who did that internship, don't mention them, right? Because everyone aware, right? We all are in the psychology, so we all are aware कि कौन पैसे लेके internship करवाता है और कहाँ learning opportunities ज्यादा है. So whenever you are mentioning about internship, just avoid those internship that is not hospital setting. If hospital taken, right, fee, minor fee, like if has taking 3,000 rupees, I think, right, if I'm right, so all right hospitals too taking right minor fee. So if you did internship from those, and if you did internship right in any hospitals that could be private or hospital setup from the private right or the government, you can mention them no matter they are right fee or not. But don't go with those organizations जो सबको पता है कि they are taking fee and they are not giving internship, they are giving you classes, they are explaining you about the disorders and disease. That is not considered as internship. So just do this, right? So these are the few common questions that you can prepare, right? So abhi se, aaj se, right, for next 7 days, 7 days, every morning, right, or whenever you feel comfortable, practice these questions. If any individual is there in your family, right, you can present answer of all these questions in front of them. You can present in front of mirror, as well as you can record your response and you can look right after that, or you can observe by yourself like, okay, how was my answer? You can invite your friend as well, right? You can request them, right, to present question and you are presenting their answer. All these things you can do from now to at least 7 days. So your brain will adapt to that particular information, like what kind of information you have to mention. क्योंकि हम रोट लर्निंग करके तो जा नहीं सकते. We cannot perform the rote learning. वो लगेगा कि yes, individual, right, mentioning what they hold in their in-prompt nahi lagega. I mean to say, right, that particular response will not look in-prompt, right, if you are memorizing them. So whenever you practice, right, for few days, for at least 7 days, then your brain will adapt them and automatically you will present them and it look right in-prompt. They look right automated response. So these few things we can do. And these are the few common questions I hope you already wrote in your notebook. The chances are very high that your first and second question will be from these, right? And this question will be the last chance to modify and to channelize your whole interview. If you will mention, right, what I said, and if you will mention in a such way, then chances are very higher that they will ask question from those particular topic and you will move in a good trance with good trance of interview rather than there will be if what simply means if you will keep your interview open कि मुझसे पूछ लो जो भी पूछना है then they can ask anything. But if you are giving them hint कि okay sir, okay ma'am, I did this thing right in last 3 4 years, I'm having interest in this. So you are giving them option to ask question from those particular topic. If you fail to give them hint कि मैंने क्या किया है in last 3 4 years, then you are making that interview open. And if your interview will be open, then believe me, they can ask anything, right? And if they are not asking something that you know, तो इंटरव्यू कभी कभी रॉन्ग डायरेक्शन में भी जाने का चांस है. बट whenever you are not aware any answer any question. Don't hesitate to mention no. Don't mention any wrong information and guess information. कि मुझे लगता है ऐसा होगा. That's why I'm mentioning. Don't do so. Because if any individual asking question, if I am asking question, I already know the answer of it. Right? अगर मुझे आंसर नहीं पता किसी क्वेश्चन का, आई विल नॉट आस्क दैट क्वेश्चन. सो इफ आई एम आस्किंग क्वेश्चन, आई नो द आंसर. सो whenever there will be any question, right, answer them politely. If you don't know, reject them politely, right? Don't hesitate to reject, right? And now we are coming on CIP. What kind of specific thing will be there? And then we will discuss if you are having any doubts or any queries, right? So all these information that I am mentioning, I collected from few of my network that working over there, as well as few students who pass out from CIP and who are pursuing their M.Phil there. I divided all the component into four parts, right? Theories, disorder, therapies, and psychological testing. Fine. So there are one thing in theories we can say they will ask question only from the traditional theory. Chances are very close to 0% that they will ask any question from untraditional aspect or untraditional part of theory. They are going to ask about those theory that you are aware of. They are not going to ask any latest advancement. But now time is to curate them well. If they are asking about Piaget, what information you have to mention there, right? How effectively you are curating them, right? So these are the things, right? Again, I'm mentioning if you don't know any theory, that's completely okay, right? Politely, you can mention that you don't know, but in maximum situation, they will ask question from the traditional one. When I written, right, so many theories, हमें उसको डिस्कस करने की नीड नहीं है, चाहे वो कोइलवर की थियरी हो, एरिक्सन्स की थियरी हो, पियाजे की थियरी हो, and you will be amazed to know that when you will enter in CIP, there are Freud, block, there are Jung block. So their block is right by the name of these individuals. So they can ask questions from all these, right? Freudian approach, Jungian approach. They can ask, okay, ये block देखा क्या? Have you seen this particular block? Are you aware about this block? Right? So ये किसके नाम पे है? Just let me about their uh, life and their work. So if you've seen that block, say yes. If you don't seen that block, say no, मुझे नहीं पता. So they will mention, okay, there is this block. So do you know, right? Who is this person? So this kind of question will be there, and they will ask questions from the traditional one. So you don't need to worry about the theories, what kind of questions they are asking. You can work on how you will curate, not what to answer. They can ask anything, but how you will calmly, composedly, how you will answer that question, you have to focus on this. Instead, reading the theories. Theory बिल्कुल नहीं पढ़ना for the CIP. You don't need to go with the theories. Now, second, disorder. Yes, we can predict disorders. Why? Because what kind of patient they are having at a larger scale. कैसा patient है? What kind of patient they are having usually? What kind of patient they are dealing with usually? They can ask questions from those. So last time too, from last 2-3 years, they are asking from these questions. और इस बार भी chances हैं they can ask, right? Like first, all the neurotic problems. They are having lots of patient from the neurotic issues. Schizophrenia spectrum, you can mention. All disorder under schizophrenia spectrum and related psychotic disorder. Right? They are having lots of ample amount of neurotic patient. Then OCD. Then, right, I collected information that they are asking question from anxiety, depression, bipolar, dissociation, personality, and neurodevelopmental disorder, right? That means they are 90% patient belonging to this particular criteria. And all right, individual who participated and their faculty members also thinks because this question will be impromptu. What kind of question as interviewer I will ask to individual student in interview? They haven't decided now. They are not deciding. So no one can say what they will ask, but probability is very high that they will ask question from these one. You need to verse with diagnostic criteria. That's all. So what we studied in our class, if any individual taken our class, right, those abnormal, right, psychology अगर लिया है class आपने, so what we talked in that particular class, अगर वो किसी के पास class है, you can repeat them. अगर class नहीं है, so you are having DSM. So just go with the diagnostic criteria because we all are aware about the symptoms. No one can say, I don't know the symptom of all these disorders. We all are aware about the symptoms, but yes, you can work with diagnostic criteria a bit. So just go with, there are 6-7 disorders like schizophrenia spectrum. This is the group of disorder. तो यहाँ बहुत सारे disorders होंगे, but schizophrenia spectrum, OCD, anxiety, depression, bipolar, then dissociation, personality, and neurodevelopment. It will not take much time because in a day you can read diagnostic criteria of so many. So focus on diagnostic criteria, right? Then therapy. Now again, दे आर वेरी इम्प्रॉम्प्ट टू सीबीटी. सीबीटी तो हर जगह बहुत ज्यादा आता है, राइट? सो सीबीटी तो ऐड करेंगे ही. सो दे आर आस्किंग सो मेनी क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम सीबीटी, right? So there will be few individual in panelist who will not be clinical psychologist, who could be psychiatry, who could be, right, neurologist, right? Could possible, right? So along with CBT, sometime they're asking about the brain waves, right? Waves and EEG, right? One EEG, right? You can discuss EEG. We are using as a therapy as well. If you are thinking कि ये तो सिर्फ टेक्निक है, इमेजिंग टेक्निक है, sometime we are using EEG to manage the stress of someone, to anxiety of someone, because individual is able to monitor their bodily changes, right? Directly. I'm not talking about EEG only, but there are many biofeedback system that we are using. EEG is one of them, right? So we can do so. DBT. DBT is one of the tools that CIP using at a larger scale, right? So DBT, IPT, interpersonal therapy, right? And if you are going with CBT, DBT, so I suggest you to go with REBT once, right? REBT. Not more than this, right? ये भी बहुत ज्यादा कह रहा हूं मैं, but I am mentioning it just because I think you will be aware about all these. अगर awareness नहीं भी है, at least if you are having basic information all about, ऐसा तो है नहीं कि they are asking deeper questions. In the beginning they will only mention, do you know IPT? So you will say, yes, I know, sir. So okay, let me know about IPT. What is IPT? Like when we are choosing them, what is the process of IPT? So if you are aware what is IPT, what is CBT, and what is the process of IPT, CPT, that will be enough. हमें वहां किसी को काउंसलिंग करके और थेरेपी करके तो नहीं दिखाना, राइट? वी मस्ट हैव अवेयरनेस अबाउट द स्टेप्स, सो इट विल बी रियली इजी फॉर यू टू गो विद द स्टेप्स ऑफ ऑल दीज, राइट? सो इंट्रो and steps of all these, that will be enough, right? And last, psychological testing. So all these testing that I am going to mention here, they are using at CIP, and from last not only 1 and 2, from last approx 6-7 years, they're asking question from only these that I'm mentioning. Only these they're asking question from last 5-6 years. Now they are having two technique of asking question from psychological testing. Number one, they will directly ask you verbally, let me about this particular test. When this particular test came, why we are applying this. And the second way, they will show you a certain test. There will be test on the desk, and you have to identify or detect the test. So they will let you know that, okay, what is this test? Just let me know. So you're saying, sir, this is sanguine form. So they can ask why we are using it, where we are using it, and what is the process of it. So sometimes they are not going to show you any test. They are just asking you. Sometimes they will show you a test. You have to identify them. And on the basis of those, you are answering, right, questions that they are asking. So psychological test. From the personality, Rosark, TAT, 16PF, MMPI, right? Rosark, TAT. When they are asking Rosark and TAT, they only ask general questions. How many cards we are having, how many cards using, who presented it, when presented it, right? What is the process of it? Because you all are aware, Rosark is very difficult test. There are so many codes, no any individual can memorize them if you are not practicing them for 10 years, right? बहुत difficult है. So they are not going to ask in a deeper way. They are just understand that you are genuine, right, for clinical psychology or not, right? If you are genuinely interested and passionate, so you must have this kind of information, right? If any individual is genuinely interested and right keen in any subject, what will happen? They will read more. So this is the reflection that yes, you are keen in this topic. You really interested to be a clinical psychologist because you are having all these information. There are no gap in information. Because if you are faking your interest, then there will be gap in information. But at least when they are asking about any test, like Rosak, let me write any test. So you are having basic information. So from personality, Rosal, TAT, 16PF, and MMPI. Other test, sanguine form board test, Binet Kamath test of intelligence, VAPIS, VSMS. All these are will be few common. I am repeating the test again. Rosark, TAT, sanguine form board test, Binet Kamath test, MMPI, VAPIS, 16PF, and VSMS, right? So all these tests you have to go with intro, right? I'm not saying कि बहुत deeper information you have to practice them and do so. Information, right? Basic information we have to collect, right? So what we did here, what I told you in first part, what we can follow, tips, few tips that before the interview we have to follow. Second, what is the common question that they can ask? And now a specific topic that you have to prepare, right? ये जो topic हम अभी discuss कर रहे हैं, you can prepare for it. So you can get confidence if they are mentioning about something. So you are not clueless कि मुझे पता ही नहीं कि ये है क्या, right? At least if they are talking about, suppose that, let's take an example. What is Binet Kamat test? So at least if you have awareness, so at least you can give them glimpse that, sir, I know, ma'am, I know, right? Maybe when they will present cross question, right, you will not be able to answer them, but at least you are aware, they will get a sense that yes, a student is sincere enough because they are presenting answer of almost those questions जो expected है, right? So all these things are there. So these are a specific topic that we can prepare with. Now here you can see at the end, I always mentioning, and this is one of the important aspects that we all have to keep in mind. Don't expect to answer everything that they're asking. We are not God. No any individual in this universe can say, I know everything in psychology. No one can say it. So we are a student. We just begin our career. So if expert asking anything to you and if you don't know, that's completely okay. That's why expert also want to know कि question कहाँ से पूछूंगा, मुझे कुछ hint तो दो. So when they are asking you, tell me about yourself. So they want hint from that particular answer कि पूछना क्या है, what I can ask from your right ask to you, what kind of response you are presenting. So they are getting hint. Okay, you did this, right? You are having this kind of experience, you are having this kind of interest, so they are asking questions from those. So interviewer also trying to get hint from your side, and then they are asking question from those particular topic. Usually they are not asking question randomly, but yes, there will be one or two individual in the panelist. In every panelist there will be one or two person, this kind of person, they already decided that what I want to ask. So they are asking what they want to ask, no matter what kind of answer you are presenting and what kind of information you are putting in, right? But maximum number of panelists will always looking for you, looking for your answer, what kind of hint you are giving to them. They will ask questions from those. So we are not God, we are not super women and superman, right? So if they're asking any question, don't expect that everything you know and every answer you will present. If you don't know the answer, mention them very politely that sorry sir, I am not aware of it, or I read them right so back, so long, right from so long I'm not right versed with this particular topic or anything, right? Any statement that you are comfortable with, you can mention them. So they will move ahead with the next question and then right answer them. So at the end, I would like to mention here that approach this particular interview not as a test, as a conversation between two individuals to know each other, right? So just go with this approach, and what we are talking right now, what I have presented, just follow them, and hope everything will be fine. Now, I request anyone to volunteer, right? Sophia, are you able to unmute yourself?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so can you volunteer now?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Okay, so from now onwards, what I am
Mm.
asking, you have to answer them like you are answering an interview. You cannot
Yes,
mention any cross question if you are not understanding something what I am mentioning. So you have to respond in a such way like you will respond in the interview. Got it?
yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So let's begin.
Yes.
Sophia, let us about yourself.
Uh, my name is Sukhan Qureshi, and I have born and brought up in Jaipur. I have completed all my study from school to my master's in Jaipur, uh, and I have succeededly scored 72% in my master's, and I have done some one internship during my master's. And I have some a strong hold on uh, therapies like DBT or my I admire some psychologists too, like Freud and Jung.
Okay, as you aware about DBT, just let us know
Yes.
on which kind of individual or patient DBT will be more appropriate.
Uh, Although we can use DBT on many type of disorder like any anxiety and or depression type, but specifically it has been made for uh, borderline personality disorder. So it will be well
Okay,
suited for borderline personality disorder.
okay, so you will be aware that is a kind of test in which we are developing skills in our client, right? So if they are lacking
Yes,
in
yes,
certain skills, we are trying to increase their skills. So what skills
yes.
we are working with? Just let me know about at least four skills.
Like I can start with some interpersonal skill because the person who is suffering from borderline personality disorder has so many issues in his life to build up their relationship or and second I can say about anger management. No, not anger management, like controlling their emotions because people who has DPD, they suffer lots of issues in their controlling their emotions, right? And I can say uh, one practice also it's mindfulness. With mindfulness, it can help them in controlling their emotion and like controlling their mind also because person who has BPD also suffers from so many emotion at a time they can't focus on all the things. And fourth, I can say uh, I'm not able to remember the fourth one. So yes.
Okay, not an issue. Have you participated in a study in your master's? Any kind of synopsis if you presented in your master's?
No, that I was unable to do because my time at the University of Rajasthan, there was
Mhm.
some uh, due to Corona issue, my time period of masters shortened to 1.5 years. So we have to complete one semester in 3 to 4 months. So I was unable to take any synopsis or study during that time.
Okay, so have you studied statistics and research?
Yes, we have a subject for it.
Okay, so just let me know if we are planning to conduct two experimental research. So in those
Yes.
conditions, our internal validity will be high or low.
It should be high.
Okay. And external validity?
I don't know about that. Like
Okay, fine.
maybe it
Thank
should be
you.
high.
That's all. Now there are few things that you can find. You all find few right issues or few positivity, few positive thing in this uh, right mock session. We can say mock conversation. First of all, you mention, I don't know, very politely that was the positive thing, right? What is the negative? There was few supplementary words that you used multiple time. These you have used. So इसको थोड़ा कम कर सकते हैं हम if we can do, right? And how you can do so? If you will practice well, right? If you are practicing in front of mirror or if you are practicing in front of other individual, and if you are recording your own session, you will detect by yourself how many supplementary words I have used in 1 minute of answering. First thing. Some specific point you are also mentioning the wrong information. That absolutely okay, right? But you have to understand कि अगर किसी कॉन्सेप्ट में कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं हो सो यू कैन इग्नोर देम बट इसको बहुत ज्यादा कंट्रोल नहीं कर सकते हम राइट समटाइम वेन एवर वी आर आंसरिंग वी डोंट नो लाइक यू आर मेंशनिंग कंट्रोलिंग इमोशन वी आर नॉट कंट्रोलिंग इमोशन इन डीबीटी राइट वी आर creating right skills in individual that there will be trauma negative emotions you have to manage them well right that means
Manage.
we are not trying to reducing them. Reduction of the traumatic experiences is the part of CBT. We do so over there. But in DBT, we are developing skills in individual. So individual will accept कि life में trauma रहेगा, negative emotions will be there. How we will manage them when trauma will arise, when negative anxiety will arise. But that is not completely wrong what you are mentioning. राइट बट हमें थोड़ा सा अवेयरनेस होना चाहिए इफ आई एम सेइंग यस आई एम वेल वर्स सो ये जो वर्ड था ना आई एम हैविंग स्ट्रांगली होल्ड ऑन डीबीटी डोंट यूज दिस लाइन you mentioned exactly strongly hold if you are having a strongly hold then I am not expecting that you will do this kind of mistakes and you are forgetting right few skills you are mentioning only three right so you are
Mm.
not going to mention a stronghold and I'm well versed, right? I'm having a strong command. Don't use this term. Just mention that I learned this. You are a student and just we will be there in a student mode, right? Never mention that I'm having command, I'm expertise, I'm having expert. Don't mention all these things. You are a student and you will remain a student for whole life. So whenever you want, okay, I must need questions from this particular topic, mention them smartly. As you said, as you mentioned, that I did internship and I learned DBT over there. That's all. That's enough. Right? You don't need to mention, right, I'm having command or a strong hold on this. You cannot do so, right? So now here you can see the few things we have talked about. Now, if you're having any doubt, any query, just let me know. Anything that you are having, any question if you are having.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good
Aditya
afternoon.
on this side. It was a very enriching session, I must say, and
Thank you.
I learned a lot of it today. What needs to be done? But I had a particular question in mind, which is very specific in my case. So I actually shifted my background from a commerce background to that of psychology. So my bachelor's is in BBA from St.
Mhm.
Xavier's. So do I need to mention that in my introduction? Would that go against me, or should I just leave it out?
You can leave them out. I'm not saying that will go against you because every individual is aware that you proved it. Many psychology student was there, but they haven't cracked this exam. But you was from non-psychology and you cracked it. So you're having that kind of right discipline and that kind of interest in psychology. So they are not going in this way. But why unnecessarily right you are going to mention this particular thing that will allow to think in a other way? Right. So don't mention them. If they're asking about, say it with confidence. Right. कभी भी ये नहीं लगना चाहिए you are hesitant and you feel bad just because you are from non-psychology background. Don't feel so. You need to be confident and you need to be proud that from being a non-psychology student you did so and you are eligible in those organizations now. That's why you participated in their exam, right? So be confident. right?
So, but so
Don't worry
won't they
about
have
it.
their mark sheets beforehand? Like, won't that can't that be a question I can anticipate and placate before the question is asked? So that is what I was thinking. Like, because they have my 11, 12, 10, 12 bachelor's mark sheet. So in that way, or will they be just looking at my master's mark sheet at the panel and verification will be separate? So I just wanted to have baseline on.
Verification, first of all, when you will reach there, first of all, there will be verification. All the
Yeah.
documents will be verified, and then your interview process will begin. This process usually happens.
Okay.
Suppose that, let's take an example because we don't need to be surprised. If they are taking your documents, right? Panelists will take your documents. Just give it to them now. If they are flipping, if they are knowing, that's okay. Right? You are not
Okay.
going to begin from 11, 12. Na? Ki I 11th in this subject was there, then graduation this subject, then masters in this subject. You are not going to mention that. Right? So final qualification you are just mentioning, and you can wait for the cross question if they're
Okay.
asking, right? You can move ahead.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Because if you are mentioning from 11, 12, yes, I did 11, 12 from this topic, then it is necessary to mention about your graduation. If you are not mentioning, then it's okay. You can move ahead.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
There is no problem to mention about it. And don't feel shy and don't feel hesitant when they're asking, right? Be confident because you proved it, right? So you are there not just because of ABC factor, right? You are there just because of your hard work, just because of your knowledge. So you need to be confident. Yes, I am eligible and I am here because I cracked it, right? So this is not the negative characteristics of something, but what I mean to mention why we are giving them any other thoughts when they are in a specific zone. They are there to assess your personality. So why we are giving them any other kind of thoughts? If you are not noticing, that's okay. If they are noticing, that's okay,
Got it. Thank you so much.
right?
Thanks.
Um,
Yes,
Good
Vijay
afternoon, sir.
Durga.
Uh,
Yes,
Yes,
yes, sir.
Svetambari. Yes,
uh,
Svetambari, you can continue.
yes, sir. So I think we've done a very clear, thorough discussion about what all the doubts that I had. But in specific, I have like an additional doubt. That you mentioned that they'll be asking questions about therapy and
Hmm.
disorders.
Yes.
In that case, like, is it okay for us to mention, like, if, in case there is a specific disorder that I know very well about, and that I've seen cases, and I've personally able to help, people going through these issues as well. Would it help to tell them that I've worked with this specifically, even if it's a specific theory question as such? Could I take it in that direction and present that I've seen it in like real life in a practical setup as well?
Okay, this is very subjective kind of questions you are mentioning. When it will fit and when not fit, I cannot guess and I cannot say from here. If you are thinking like, okay, giving this kind of example will be fit with that answer, you can mention it, right? But whenever you are mentioning it, just mention I work with this kind of patient, this kind of individual as a counselor in the supervision of this professional, this clinical psychologist, this psychiatry. So you need to be very clear, like what designation you are presenting there, right? So if you think that suits, right, my example will melt beautifully with this answer. You can mention them. It's okay. It's completely okay. But you are not mentioning anything that is unacceptable. So you cannot mention I am working as a psychologist, right? I'm a clinical associate clinical psychologist assistant. Don't mention this, right? You can mention that I learned, right, working there. I learned, always turn on the learning mode. I always mentioning मैं सबको बोलता हूँ whenever you are going to participate in any interview, just turn on your learning phase, right? So you are mentioning I learned, right, at this particular place in the supervision of this individual. That will be a best way to present or explain your uh, experiences.
Sir, I just have another question. This is
Mhm.
specific to me, but I'm sure a lot of people can relate. I took a break here in order to prepare for like my M.Phil entrances.
Mhm.
I couldn't clear last year, so I decided to drop a year, and I was not employed. So I focused all my energy onto preparation. So in that case, if there is a place where this comes, like, you finished your masters a year before, so you're not a recent graduate. So what were you doing? Or also there is a lack of exposure that I have because I focused all my energy onto theoretical prep. I've not been into like a proper psychological setup in a year. So there is a gap that exists. Like for example, I haven't seen like psychological tools in a while. So all of these things, how do I deal with the
Understood.
aspect of the break here itself?
Yeah, understood. First of all, many individuals, right, who cracked CIP, you can talk to everyone. More than 90% case they are having gap year, right? Because CIP, cracking CIP is not very easy task like you right came out from the college and you cracked it. Yes, that is possible. I'm not saying, because many individuals having different approach from the beginning and they do so, right? They get so, right? I'm having right these kind of examples, but maximum individual right getting gap year. Gap year होता क्यों है? इसका टाइमिंग भी बहुत ऑड है, right? When they are conducting entrance is Feb March, and when your session completed in right June July. So that is very natural. And if suppose that if any individual 2 years gap, right? Let's take an example. So you can present it if they're asking you're having 2 years gap, right? Itna kyun? So you can mention that this is sir and ma'am, the jo bhi hai, right? You can right greet them, and you can mention that this is your priority to crack M.Phil clinical psychology entrance, and cracking entrance is really a tough task. And cracking entrance these days with any other responsibility is very close to impossible. So we decided that yes, I want to do M.Phil in clinical psychology, no matter how much time I will take. So I taken break from everything and I focused on theoretical aspect, because theory is the only thing through that I can crack or I can get into M.Phil clinical psychology. So you can say, right, all these things, right, in a straightforward way. What I'm mentioning in the beginning. You don't need to be philosophical. You need to be very genuine, right? Why? You taken this action, you just let them know I taken this action because it's really difficult to crack M.Phil, specifically in CIP. So you decided that I'm just going to take all my time for the theoretical things because it is necessary to crack my CIP. So I decided this very willingly. So you can mention this with confidence, right? Be genuine. जब भी लगे ना, I'm not able to right make the answers. मुझे नहीं पता क्या आंसर करना है. Be genuine, right? जो genuinely है मेरे लाइफ में, right? Honestly, I have to present those. Don't need to make the answers, right? Why you have taken the gap? Mention them, right? Why you haven't did any internship? Mention them. Whenever any question coming in front of you and you think, right, I'm not able to find how to answer, be genuine, be honest, right? So this is not the negative aspect. You can say it very clearly, sir. Cracking M.Phil is really a challenging task these days, right? Competition are too high. So willingly, I have decided to break from everything, take break from everything, and prepare for this exam more specifically for the CIP, because it's really very tough to crack it. So I taken right leave from all my responsibility. I quit all responsibility and focused on theoretical aspect to crack this exam. So
Thanks.
basically, this will be the benefit, or this will be the positive aspect of your life, because they will think you are serious about right cracking M.Phil and being in this particular profession. So that will help you out. Fine. Now, Vijay Durga, you can unmute.
Yes, sir. So
Yeah.
actually, I just got my final semester results. Before that, I had a bona fide mentioning that I passed all the subjects. So I don't have my provisional degree certificate yet for the interview. Will I be allowed to actually participate?
You are having final mark sheet.
It is like an online. It is not like an original transcript. We have to apply for the original transcript.
Okay. First of all, we have to understand कि जो है वो है, we have that kind of documents, right? So we have to go with that documents, right? And chances are very close to 100% that they will allow. You can do one thing, you can reach to the college and just take a verification signatory on those, right, online copy,
Yes, sir.
right, from the principal or from the teacher, take stamps and all. If possible, just apply for the provisional mark sheet as well, right? If they can right, passed to you within next 8 9 days, and that's possible for the college, right? Provisional hota hi isliye hai. Provisional is right. The process of provisional is there just for these situations, right? So just request them in written, and if they are going to give you, then you can present them. Rather, you can bring that mark sheet and you can attested those mark sheet from any right administration, any member from your college
Yes,
or
sir. I
universities
had one more
that will help
question.
you.
So
Yeah.
while about telling about myself, if I have like I feel like it's an academically good performance or good record of academics I had, should I mention it like I was a top student in this, then I cracked
No,
this,
no,
this?
definitely not.
No.
Definitely not. No, 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 definitely not. You cannot say by to yourself, right? Okay, I'm the topper, I'm the top students, right? Just let them explore about yourself. Whenever you are going to answer, na, right, they will realize like you are really a brilliant student. Let them explore. You cannot mention that, I'm one of the best student or I am having command over all the subject, right? You are having anyone having command of any individual if they are topper. So they are topper in a limited context. If I'm topper of my universities, right? Not the topper of psychology, right? So whenever we top in any college, we top in a certain context. But that is reflecting that how much courage you have to devote your time to psychology. So that is a great thing, right? If you topped or if you are having great command over the subject, right? And they must know about it. But we cannot mention by ourselves like I topped in the college and but yes, if you want to say it, if you are convinced, yes, this is my point or positive point that I want to mention, so you have to mention them right in a indirect way. Like I secured first rank, like this, so in this way, you can mention, but you cannot say I'm topper. I topped in the college. I'm having good command. But yes, you can say I was able to secure first rank. Or if you are finding any other ways in which you are mentioning कि मेरे effort की वजह से I got something and I'm presenting it. So you are mentioning yes, I got right rank or I secured first rank. Right, all these things you can mention if you are convinced कि if you are mentioning yourself like I got first rank, so you need to be ready for hard questions as well. You need
Yes,
to be
sir.
ready now because you are giving them challenge. Like, okay, I'm the best student of my university or my college. So
Yes, sir.
पूछो जो
Thank you, sir.
पूछना है, right?
Thank you.
So yes, Nikita, you can unmute now.
Hello, sir. So I have a few questions. One is that you said that, in the common questions, the first is tell us about yourself.
Mhm.
In that, approximately, can we go on talking about, let's say, 1 minute, 2 minutes, or 3 4 minutes?
Okay, right. Ideal time could be anything, right? जो जितना content हमारे पास है, how much content you are having, accordingly you take time. But usually we think 2.5 minutes is, enough, right? If you will explain in more than 2.5 minutes, that could be monotonous who are taking interview for them. And if you are taking less than that, means you don't have so many things to mention. So अगर हमारे पास बहुत ज्यादा नहीं है बोलने के लिए, so you can take 2 minutes. But 2.5 minutes is enough. 50 seconds about my life or my educational background, right? And more 1 minute, one more minute, approx 1 more minute or 1 minute, 10 seconds to explaining all my experiences and what I did in, right, life related to psychology, right? So 2.5 minutes is enough, I think.
So after my master's, I completed my master's in 2020. I took a 5 year gap.
Hmm?
And in this gap, I have been doing some of the other course and I have been working. So should I mention it as I am working or how should I keep it? So in the
Are you
first
confident? Are you
first two,
confident mentioning you are working?
yes,
Because if you are working, my next question, if I will be in the panel, my next question will be what kind of role you played over there. Are you comfortable with it?
I am a psychologist at a clinic and I have completed 2 years in EMDR therapy. So I use EMDR trauma therapy for clients with trauma, be it PTSD or CPTSD, as well as personality disorders like narcissistic personality or borderline personality. And
Okay,
I'm
so
also an ABT practitioner.
okay, first of all, modify your designation. You can mention counselor psychologist, not the psychologist. First.
Okay.
Fine. So modify this thing. And when I'm mentioning, are you comfortable means whenever they will ask which designation you are having and you are mentioning what kind of role you are having. And whenever you are mentioning your role, are you okay to get question from all those roles, right, that you are mentioning right now here? Like, I'm interested in this, I did this, I was this kind of role. So they will ask, chances are very high because it is now very easy to them to ask question from what kind of role you are playing in your organization. So if you are comfortable with it, why not? You can mention them.
Okay, because I've learned these therapies, and these I have been practicing them with real life my own clients. So if there's anything that is they're asking with respect to these therapies, I can answer those questions.
First of all, there are some suggestions. It is not necessary that you are going to follow that suggestion, right? Just understand, right, what you will add or what you don't want to add. I will not mention that present that you are doing private practice first. And whenever you are mentioning I'm working as a counselor psychologist, right, just try to mention under supervision of my seniors. If you will add them, that will give them sense of learning, right? If you are mentioning like I'm doing private practice, so that will definitely give them a sense like you are a professional, right? But I think कि when you are mentioning yourself, presenting yourself as a learner, that will give you the extra edge, right, in interview. So this is a kind of suggestions that we can follow.
So, but my question is, will the 5 year gap be a problem?
Not
Here?
at all. Not at all. No, you are having 5 year gap, na? You are having 5 year gap. You are accepting it. Mention them if they're asking. If there will be such kind of questions, don't hesitate to mention. One thing, guys, we all are aware. You all crack entrance. That's why you are here. That means you are having right quality and you proved it. So no matter you are eligible for CIP, that's why you participated in exam. So you are eligible and you proved it. Then why you are hesitating? Be genuine. Who I am, I'm presenting that, right? Yes, I'm having 5 year gap. So if they're asking why you taken 5 year gap, why you haven't decided, right, to continue with M.Phil in clinical psychology at that time. So be genuine. What do you think at that time? You can mention there, maybe there will be financial, right, issues. Family को support करना था. That's why you did so. Now you are having right option because now you are independent. You saved certain money. Your family working well, doing good, right? So now you made plan. So why you haven't decided at that particular point to pursue M.Phil and why you decided now? You can mention them genuinely. अगर ऐसा भी है कि मुझे उस टाइम पता नहीं था कि M.Phil भी होता है, then you can mention this as well. कि I was not aware about the M.Phil, but when I started learning under supervision of this individual in my work setting, then I got to know that okay, this is the course, and if I want to make my career in this particular field, then I have to do M.Phil. License is necessary. So यही तो होगा, right? Why you are planning to pursue M.Phil? This was the reason, na? This will be the reason. So why you haven't, decided at that time and why you are deciding right now? Be genuine, right? What is the core component? Be genuine. हमने जिस वजह से गैप लिया, if they are asking, you have to mention it.
Okay, sir.
Fine? Okay.
With CIP, would you recommend, so because there is competition, would you recommend we continue giving mock papers for other colleges right now? For
Yes.
example,
Yes,
Nimhans.
definitely. You cannot stop preparation, right? You cannot stop preparation, right? Nimhans is approaching because we have to understand that only 1/4 student will be selected. But one thing keep in mind, you are one of the best. इस पे हम अभी discuss करेंगे. But if any individual doing preparation for example, you can continue preparation. You cannot stop preparation. Na? We are in the mid. Right now, we are not selected. Right? We are very close to be selected, but we are not selected. So how we can stop preparation? We are a student. We will learn and we will prepare. Right? So This is the thing. Okay. Uh, Nitesh, you can unmute yourself.
So my question is that I have done my master's from Ambedkar University, Delhi. So my master's is in psychoanalysis,
Mm-hmm.
and the internship as well was from the university itself. There's a clinic called SARS.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering that how can I, if it comes up, how
Mm-hmm.
can I use it for as an advantage or at least not let it being a disadvantage for me?
Why you think that will be disadvantage?
Because I'm
Experience, that is not a disadvantage. You have to understand in a different class. You are, if you are going to be in, you will get a new perspective, right, in M.Phil clinical psychology. Are you getting what I mean to say?
yes, sir.
So when individual, right, coming from different background, that means if they did or if they learn different thing at the masters and when they are coming into any field, so they are bringing different experiences, right, in that particular course. So why do you think that is negative? That is not negative. Who said that is negative? Just mention I did so and I did so. I completed my master's right in this particular subject and I did my internship at particular place. Be genuine and don't be hesitant about what kind of experiences you are having, what kind of experiences you got. That is your strength. And if you did something unique, that is a good thing, right? If they are, asking something about it, just present this with passion, right? Yes, I learned this. I am having this kind of experiences. So if you're having unique experiences, so other individual will also be interested to listen, right? What you studied, what you learned. So don't consider them negative aspect. That is not negative. That is unique, right? And that can, right, give a new perspective, right, whenever you will enter into that particular course, right? So that is not negative. You are eligible legally, fine. So what is the problem, right? If they will think that, okay, this course will not be allowed to get into M.Phil. So in eligibility criteria, they will mention them clearly. But if they are accepting you, if they are allowing you, that means you are legally eligible. And now you are having unique experiences. That is a good thing, right? So if they want to talk on it, just go ahead. You can talk what kind of experiences you are having. You can mention them. So uniqueness is never is a demerits, right? If you are legally acceptable or legally allowed and you are eligible, so if you are having uniqueness, if you are having a certain work that is very unique, you did something that is unique from other individual, that is a new perspective. You can give them a new perspective. You can tell them, okay, I did this thing. So might be possible they will be interested to know about, right? So this is not negative. Be confident and what you did in your life, what kind of educational, right, experiences you are having, internship experiences you are having, just tell them with confidence that yes, this is I am. Now just think I am suitable or not, giving them hint that this is I am, and I am the best candidate to get in clinical psychology. Why they are conducting interview? They are conducting interview not to check your knowledge in psychology. They already did so. They are conducting this interview to find who are having those kind of personality that is needed to be a clinical psychologist. So you have to reflect it that yes, I'm keen, I'm passionate, I'm eager to learn, I'm here to work in this particular field, right? If you will show all these things, then right, they will get the idea that yes, you are the person जिसको chance मिलना चाहिए.
Since, like you have said, that they have these blocks, the Freud block, Hume blocks, in CIP. So should I be well versed in these theories?
No, no, definitely not. Are you aware about these theorists, right?
Yes,
How
sir.
much you will study about these theories? Their work is around 35, 40 years. How we can well verse, right, within few days about all these people? You must have information about all these people, and we have it. How you will curate them, how you will present them, that is the thing, right? So I'm not suggesting to go and read about this theorist. Just practice on how to pass your message and how to communicate your information to those individuals. That's all. Not to read anything, but yes, few suggestion I presented related to testing and related to some diagnostic criteria. So you can move with it and just work more on how you will present your information in front of them instead reading the theoretical aspect. Fine. Yang, you can unmute now.
Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon.
So, from the interview perspective, do you think it's necessary to be well versed with our master's dissertation topics?
Yes, definitely. Yes, because chances are very high. Because one question, right? I asked to Sufyan, right? Have you did your synopsis at your masters? And if they did so, I will be eager to know what was their topic, and I will ask. I definitely ask a question from those, right? So if you did any research work or you will presented these kind of work to your masters, then definitely go with those because they can ask, right? And if you are having those kind of experiences, then definitely they will be eager to know about what you did and your research work.
So also on the website, the dates mentioned for the M.Phil interview is 13th and 14th. So is it that we have to be present on both the days, or is it?
Yes, definitely, because we don't know when your time, right? Your turn, right, will be there. So usually what happen, they will verify the documents first. Usually, right, there will be changes in criteria, but usually they verify the document. It takes few hours, right? Then they will take interview of PhD in clinical psychology usually, and then they begin with the M.Phil, right? So chances are there that your interview will be there right till evening, late evening, like 8 o'clock, 8:30. But what time they suggested, you have to reach at least 45 minutes earlier by that time, with the sense that I can be there and I need to wait there, right, for 8, 9 long hours. So you need to be prepared in this way. But yes, both the day you have to be there. Right? Okay. So guys, at the end, I would like to quote one individual, Socrates. They said, I'm wise because I know nothing. I know nothing, right? So this particular sense we must have, right? All those individual is wise and intelligent who are aware of that I know nothing. So no one can be confident that I know many things, I know everything. If any individual is confident, that means uh, that are not kind of person who are eager to learn. And if any individual thinking in this way, that means they are not learner. So when you will talk to any learner, right, they will always mention that I know nothing, right? So this philosophy must be there in our life, and the same philosophy you can bring to this interview. So whenever you are entering into the interview, just switch on your student mode, learner's mode, and what we talked here, right? You can keep those things in mind. You can try to prepare well and keep one thing in mind that I want to mention here at the end. You all are one of the best student of India. Believe me, you are here just because you proved it. Competition was too high in CIP exam because there was so many centers at different cities. So you are one of the best candidate. So now, whenever you will participate in interview, you must have these thoughts, right, that I'm one of the best student. You don't need to be anxious, you don't need to be stressful. That is the time to curate in a right way. That is the time to present your information in very calm and composed way. Nothing else you have to think about. You are just going there, entering into the room, they're asking the question. If you know the answer, just mention calmly and composedly. If you don't know the answer, just mention no very politely and very smoothly. No, right, जैसे भी बोलना है. So these are the things you just need to keep all these things in mind and you can rock it, right? So don't be hesitant to say no, and if you are answering, just answer them calmly and composedly. Calm or composed रहना is one of the key of the interview. If you are not calm and composed, but you know so many things and you are answering very rapidly, then your interview will go in negative direction. Breathe, be calm, decompose outside of the room, and whenever you are walking into the room, just make synchronization with your steps and heartbeat, right? That means what I mean to say, ये बहुत right scientific हो रहा है, but what I mean to say, you need to be calm and composed whenever you are answering. You don't need to hurry. You don't need to, right, be restless, right? Be calm, be composed, know the answer, answer it. Don't know the answer, right? Mention politely that I'm not aware of it. That's all. Nothing else is required, right? So all the best, right? If you need any kind of help, any kind of support till interview, do not hesitate to reach us, right? We are just here, one call away. So हमें call करो, you can call us. Any support, any need you need, right? We will be there, right? So that's all. Thank you for being here, and all the best to all of you, right? Uh, we all are at UPS Education. We are really proud, but at the same time, we all are aware that one more step we have to cross. That's why I'm not congratulating you, because I know there are one more step that we have to cross, right? So that's all. See you, right? Bye. Take care. Take
So
care,
Thank
everyone.
you,
All
sir.
the best. All the best.
Thank you
Bye.
so much.
So